Hi there, Katie here. This is the last video in our series, 6 Skills to Master Before Learning to Read. If you've missed the previous videos, don't worry, you can check out the playlist in the description of this video. Let's talk about sight words, high frequency words, instant words, whatever you call them, they all mean the same things. They are words that your children recognize instantly, on sight, within seconds of seeing them. There are a lot of pros to learning sight words. Sight words are common in beginning readers, but they're often not decodable, which makes it frustrating for kids when they're learning how to decode words. So if you can teach them these memorized sight words, then they'll be less frustrated as they're working through their books. Now, what do I mean by non-decodable words? Take the word said, for example. If I pronounced said the way each letter sounds, s, a, I, d, those are the most common sounds that kids are going to associate with those letters, you're going to get the word sa-id, which is not a word. And that's going to become frustrating. But if you teach them that the letters S-A-I-D are said, then they'll recognize that instantly and they won't be frustrated when they're reading their words. There are also a few cautions to mention when you're talking about sight words. The biggest being that not every word should be a sight word. Words that can be decoded should be taught as decodable words so that kids learn that skill of breaking apart words, seeing their sounds, and blending them back together. It's important to remember that sight words and learning sight words is just one component of teaching reading. I recently came across this quote on Instagram and I love it. It says, if a child memorizes 10 words, the child can read only 10 words. But if a child learns the sounds of 10 letters, the child will be able to read 353 sound words, 4,324 sound words, and over 21,000 5-sound words. So as you can see, sight words have a place in reading, but they shouldn't be all of your reading instruction. Before you get started teaching sight words, you should think about how you're going to organize yourself. Once you search online for a list of sight words, you're going to find tons of lists, and they all vary just a little bit. So pick a list, print it out, and use it. If your kids are going to school, they will likely get a sight word list from their teacher. My kindergartner came home with a list of 32 sight words that they're going to learn this year, and that's the list we're working from. No matter what list you pick, just pick one and kind of stick to it. In our house, we also write our sight words on note cards. If you watched my video about letter names and sounds, you saw the practice activity where we stick our note cards on our front door or our pantry door, and every time they pass, they read the words and tap them. We do the same thing with our sight words. So we keep about 3 to 5 words on our pantry door. And every time my daughter goes for a snack or helps me get something out of there, she taps her words and reads them real quickly. We leave the words up there for about a week or so. Once she's got the hang of them, we take them off and we put them on a ring like this so that she has all of her sight words here, and then when she wants to, she can flip through them, or before we start a book, she'll flip through them just to remember what words she already knows. Here are 5 ways that we practice and play with sight words at my house. Use a fly swatter or some other kind of fun wand to swat your words. You can see here in this picture that I've used a big roll of butcher paper and written all of her words in different directions, mixed up all over the paper. You can write them one time. If you only have a handful of words you're working with, write them a couple times all over the paper, different colors, different fonts and handwritings, mix it up, have fun with it. Then call out a word and your child simply swats the fly swatter against the wall to find all of the words you call out. Play hide and seek. What we do is write our words on our note cards, the same ones that go on our ring of cards later on, and then I hide them around our house, in the playroom, the living room, our first floor, wherever you want to hide them. And then she runs around the house and finds the words. Easy as that. My daughter loves hide and seek, so this is the perfect game for her. When she brings the card back to me, she has to at least tell me the word on the card. Usually I also have her make a sentence with that word. So if she brings me the word she tells me this is the word she, and then she gives me a sentence like she rides her bike. And that's it. Then she goes and finds another card. Usually I hide about 8 cards depending on how much time we have. Play card games. My favorite card games to play with sight words are Memory and Go Fish. Super easy. You've probably already played these before with your kids, so they already know the rules of the games. Now you're just adding sight words in. So pick 3, 5, 8 sight words that you're working on. It depends on how much you've been practicing, how old your child is, depends on how many sets you're going to make. You need 2 sets of words, and you're going to write them on, I suggest, dark colored construction paper and using pencil, because my kids are tricky and they read through the paper if you use white paper and a pen. So use dark colored construction paper and a pencil so that they can't sneak a peek. For Memory, you're going to arrange your cards in neat columns and rows. Try to make them even. Turn over 2 cards. If they read the words on them, if they match, you keep them. If they don't match, you turn them back over and it's the next person's turn. Easy peasy. For Go Fish, it's the same way. You're gonna deal 3 or 5 cards, depending how many you're playing with. Put the rest of the cards face down in the middle. We call that the pond. And then on your turn, you're going to say, do you have, and pick a word that's in your cards and ask for it. If the other player has it, they give it to you. If they don't have it, they say go fish and you pick a card out of the pond. Now, usually we just play with 2 sets of cards, but if you only have 3 words or you wanted to make this game longer, you could make 3 or 4 copies of each word, and your child would have to collect more cards before they could lay them down in the game. Use magnetic letters to build your words, mix your words, and fix your words. So here you can see I have just a cookie sheet and my magnetic letters, and we have the word said here. So first I'm gonna have my child just build the word. I might put the note card up there so that they can match the letters. I may call out the letters and say it's spelled S-A-I-D, or if it's a word we've practiced a lot, I might just say make the word said. Depending on where you are, you can use any of those strategies. Now, when I give them the letters for said, I'm only giving them these 4 letters so that they are successful and they don't get confused or overcomplicate it with extra letters. After they've built it, then you're going to tell them to mix it, and they will have fun jumbling it all up, and then you're going to tell them to fix it. And again, they're going to rebuild it. Hopefully, when they rebuild it, they won't need their card or your assistance, but if they do, support them as they are learning. Eventually, they'll be able to fix it on their own. When they're done with this, you can either do said again or take away the letters and choose another sight word to build. Write on the window or the mirrors. This is so fun because we never let our kids write on the windows or the mirrors, right? So this is a special, unique experience for them, and that makes writing their sight words fun. Writing sight words is important as they get into kindergarten and then 1st grade and so on. They're going to have to practice using their sight words in their writing assignments. So you want to practice helping them form those letters and spelling their words now. So the way we write on our windows is we start with the black marker, and either I spell out the word for her, or she looks at the card, or she does it from memory, depending again where we are in our learning practice. And then we rainbow write. When you rainbow write, you take another color like blue, and she's gonna write over the letters in the blue. And then she's gonna go back and write over them in red, and then again in green. So now she's written her word 4 times. Now, when you go back and you rainbow write and you're using your additional colors, you wanna make sure that they're also naming the letter as they write it. When they see the letter and they speak the letter, they are committing it to memory. So make sure that as they trace S, they're naming that letter, A, I, D, and so on. That will really help them to internalize and commit it to memory. That's it. Everything you need to know about sight words plus 5 fun ways you can get started right away. I'd love to connect with you here in the comments or on Instagram. If you have any questions about the activities I showed you today, or tell me what ways you're practicing sight words at your house. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Happy Reading with Katie. There are new videos every Thursday. You can hit that little bell notification so that you don't miss out. Until next time, happy reading.